That Ripto has caused enough damage. All his meddling has cost me a fortune. If it wasn't for Spyro, I'd be bankrupt. If Ripto were here, I'd give him a piece of my mind. In fact, I'd give him a lot more than that. I was a champion bantamweight boxer at university, and I still know a few moves. Take that, and that. Boo. Ah! Why, you...
Hey, how's it popping, my people who are the fam of the squad of the people who like tessellating hexagons, which is who I am, and I should probably not try to be cool, it just doesn't suit me. Anyway, this is Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer, or Ripto's Rage if you're just generally from elsewhere. And we're in the second homeworld, and look, there's the first level, is Crystal Glacier. We're not going to bother with that just yet. Is there a gem behind the portal? There is not. There is not a pen behind the ear, for those of you who know of the existence of Tim Vine. Ooh, we have more underwater vases already. Now, you might think that this is a direct continuation from the previous episode. Chronologically, yes. In actual recording sessions, no, it's been like a week. Maybe not a week. There's another level. Is Skelos Badlands. So this is Autumn Plains, by the way. I was sort of trying to keep it secret what the next homeworld would be, but I mean, Summer Forest, they're probably going with seasons. Autumn Plains, they're definitely going with seasons. Now, where to begin? Oh, Elora? I thought this was a moneybags thing.
Well done, Spyro. The power from your orbs has activated the whirlwind.
Okay, I will admit this does piss me off ever so slightly. I kind of, like, when I first had the plans to Let's Play the non-Spyro 1 Spyro games, although, for that matter, I did it for Spyro 1, I did kind of want to scan ahead and just confirm what the requirements were for unlocking each new level or whatever. Because doing a 100% run, you're gonna get stuff like this where, oh, whoops, we only just got here and we already have enough orbs to open the portal to Metro Speedway, the speedway of this homeworld, with an asterisk, and I'll get back to that. So, I mean, here we have a portal that's not active, so... Also, I love the aesthetic of portals that are versus aren't active, and I don't know, I have a sort of a long-winded story about that, and... Well, this one we know what the requirements are because Moneybags is here and he can tell us, so go right ahead, sir.
Legend has it that there is a portal to Zephyr here, and legend also has it that I know how to activate it. Furthermore, as I recall, the legend mentioned something about me activating it for, a small fee.
Literally before I started recording, I thought, right, don't pay for this first, but I mean, it's 400 gems.
Thanks for the gems, Spyro. With all this cash, I can open a lizard burger shop in Skelos Badlands.
Excuse you, it's pronounced Skelos, like Zelos from Tales of Symphonia. Zephyr, this is literally the first time in my life, or when I first played this game rather, that was the first time in my life I'd ever heard the word Zephyr, and I didn't know what it meant, and I only looked it up like 2 weeks ago. And apparently it's just another word for a light breeze, which, speaking of breeze, is this portal over here. Breeze Harbour, which is spelled correctly in the European version. So in the European version, there is a U in there. So, you know, back in the old days when they knew how to localize games, Nintendo. But, yeah, I did confirm as well that in the European version, you could actually choose a language at the title screen, which I knew of. I just didn't know whether that was in the American version as well. Turns out it's not. Why would you not include that? They speak foreign in America. No shit, they don't even speak English in America. Ha 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 ha! I'm making so many enemies. Moneybags, hello, how'd you get down here so quickly?
Well, well, I bet a rich dragon like you wouldn't mind cashing in a few gems to learn how to climb. I'd be willing to teach you for, say, I don't know, a small fee?
You and your small fees. Fine, take my money.
You won't regret it. Okay, when you see a wall surface that looks climbable, like the one to my left here, just jump onto it, and you will grab it with your claws. Use the D-pad to move up and down, and press jump again to get off. You can also jump sideways onto another climbable area.
You can also just climb onto an adjacent climbing area. It doesn't tell you that, but then again, it's all common sense. Also, look, a fancy portal that takes you back to Summer Forest. That's what between-world portals look like. Now, we don't have fancy Macedonian balloons. Now, this is where Autumn Plains gets interesting, because all the portals we've seen so far, well, with the exception of Metro Speedway, they come in pairs, although you can't really tell at the moment. So we've got Crystal Glacier and Skelos Badlands. Originally, Skelos Glacier and Skelos Badlands. They come as a pair. And Zephyr and Breeze Harbor were originally, I think it was Zephyr Meadows and Zephyr Harbor or something like that. So again, they come as a pair, and that will be, those two things will become very apparent when we go into those levels, which I don't plan on doing in this episode. And then there's Metro Speedway, and then we get up here, and there's a level called Scorch. I think this might be part of a pair as well. I don't remember. I don't see why it would. Oh, no, hang on, it might be. I think there is another level further down this corridor that may be its partner. I don't know. That's kind of the theme here. There are a lot of levels, and they come in pairs. Apart from Fracture Hills off the top of my head. Oh, no, Fracture Hills comes as a pair as well. Good lord. Hello, Professor. Do you need me to clear out the first half of this homeworld to get through here?
Oh, Spyro, hello. I was just having trouble with this door, and I think some orb power might unstick it. I see you've collected a good number of orbs there.
No, it is just orb power. Go figure. You say 8 orbs. I have 8 orbs. You just opened the door.
Orbs are very powerful, Spyro. Collect a few now, and you won't regret it later. There are at least 2 in every world of Avalar.
Quite right. And they do show up on the, once you go into a level and then come back out, if you don't get all the orbs, it does show up on the portal itself. Like, once you complete a level, it'll say the name of the level, it'll show the talisman if you've got it, and then an icon for collected orbs and a different icon for non-collected orbs. Here's Magma Cone, the partner of Fracture Hills. Once again, kind of obvious once we go in there. I think it would have been Fracture Cone and Fracture Hills, or something, I don't know. Just there are a lot of levels that come in pairs, and who? Here's a magical, faraway, distant castle. Moneybags, can you help again?
I can let you into the little castle over there in exchange for a few gems. What do you say?
I say capitalism.
No one's been through that portal in years. I thought I'd never find a sucker. You're a shrewd customer, Spyro.
So, with the oh god, I think there's another one that requires Moneybags' input as well. So yes, Autumn Plains is a very big homeworld. So here's Shady Oasis. I think this may be the partner level of Scorch. I would have to double check that though. Also, we're back into the triple digits. Like, my god, Moneybags, you're relentless. But yes, now I don't know how much clout this theory has, or whether it's see, he's down there as well. But the theory goes that Autumn Plains was originally 2 homeworlds, and I think there's more dialogue down here, so Elora, say your piece first.
Hi, Spyro. Ripto and Gulp are hiding out in a room in the castle below us. You'll need all 14 talisman in order to break the lock and get to them.
14. Although that said, I believe that may be including the ones we were... See, okay, first of all, before I go on that tangent, orbs versus no orbs. These appear on portals of levels that you've already done as well, like not just homeworlds. So, where was I? Right. So, the theory goes, breakaway wall, that this was originally 2 homeworlds because there's a shit ton of portals here, and they all seem to come in pairs. I'm not sure whether that's part of the theory itself as well or not, but I will spoil, there are only 3 homeworlds in this game. There's Summer Forest, Autumn Plains, and as we've seen in the previous cutscene, Winter Tundra. There is no spring, although, that said, there is a fan project at the moment creating an entire standalone game that is meant to be the 4th homeworld of Avalar. They're calling it Spring Savannah. I was going to audition to voice act in that, and then I just sort of didn't have time in the end, which is a shame, but whatever. And if possible, I would like to Let's Play that as an addition to this Let's Play as and when that happens. Now, so the theory is that the split, that it wouldn't have more levels. I mean, the actual Spring Savannah hack, or whatever it's called, will have its own unique set of levels, but the original, the theory goes, wouldn't. The idea was that the split would be down the middle of Autumn Plains. So, for example, it could be all of, one half of all the partner levels would be Autumn Plains, and the other half would be Spring Savannah, in the same way that Autumn and... Did I say Spring Summer? But in the same way that spring and autumn are sort of they're the 2 equinox seasons, and then summer and winter are the solstice seasons, so it would make sense for them to have levels that come in pairs. So for example, autumn's the cold one, so it would have Crystal Glacier, and Spring Savannah, or whatever it was called, because I don't think it was ever confirmed what the 4th homeworld would have been called, if it even ever actually existed, because it is just a theory, don't forget. Also, by the way, Autumn Plains, huge homeworld, 2 orbs. What? Summer Forest had 4. So, yeah, the theory is that all these levels have partners because they were going to be in separate homeworlds, or something like that. And I think that's a really cool idea, because Autumn Plains is huge. The other two homeworlds are tiny, or at least half the size in comparison. So, I don't know, I'd love to find out more about that, because I do find it fascinating that these levels come in pairs, and it's something that I never appreciated as a child, partly because it's not really obvious if you just sort of gloss through this game. Yeah, they've got different names, Magma Cone, Fracture Hills, who would have thought they'd be related? Scorched Shady Oasis, I'm not even 100% sure they are, but they could be. It's only when you look at, like, if you look really closely at the contents levels, like the characters that live there, for example, that sort of thing. Or the original names for the levels, like Colossus Step and Colossus Springs, or Colossus Valley, or whatever. Only then does it become properly obvious. Anyway, Moneybags, what is your noodle?
I would love to let you enter this speedway free of charge, Spyro. Love to. Unfortunately, the speedway rules require me to charge a small fee.
No, they don't, and you know it. Only 100 gems, though. Bargain.
You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
I mean, you're not wrong. But then again, I don't know if I have time to do it in this episode, but there you go. Wait, opening that portal counts as completing the level. Okay. So yeah, apparently we just have... Oh, I just had a moment. I never spoke to the professor a second time when opening that door. Like, the one that I needed 5 orbs to open, or 8. No, it was 8. Because I had seen other save files of this game where portals had the orb thing. The orb icon for not collected orbs. And I had just assumed, as I said in this episode, that in order to make that appear, you just had to go into the level and leave it. But no, because the portal to Summer Forest didn't have orbs above it until after we had that conversation. That's how you know, like, Spyro knows, oh, there's at least 2 orbs, therefore there must be some I haven't collected. Wow. I'm surprised I didn't twig that sooner. Okay, so there's that. I was going to say something else clever, and I completely forgotten what it was, but anyway. Oh yeah, that's kind of another nail in the 4 homeworlds theory coffin, that there are 2 speedways, the other 2 homeworlds only have 1. So I'm going to pop back to Summer Forest, and since we've completed Autumn Plains as a homeworld, might as well do a quick whip round the other homeworlds. First of all, to see where the portals to Autumn Plains is, and also to, like, just get the stuff that we've been missing. Did I say homeworlds plural? Well, okay. You can sort of tell there's room for a second teleporter here. Obviously, Winter Tundra, that's not really a surprise at this point. So, first of all, I'm going to clear out and complete the seven. Clear out this homeworld by, well, do the homeworld itself. The homeworld itself, that sort of sounds like a weird sort of 90s dance. Like, yeah, do the homeworld itself, which is all one word. And it's just the Macarena, except halfway through you just turn inside out and make hair out of instant noodles. So our first stop is this ladder. Elora, do you say something different now?
There's something shiny at the top of this wall. Maybe you could climb up and get it.
Yeah, boy, girl. You can't really... Girl, I suppose? Is that the female equivalent of boy? Like with the extra eyes, or e's, or whatever. So of course there's just an orb here. Chilling. See, 4 orbs, tiny homeworld. 2 orbs, giant homeworld. Where is the logic? Is that all? Is this all? Is this one all? There we go. And since we're down here, we may as well head to Sunny Beach and get those 2 orbs we're missing. God. I will just meet you at the ladder. Okay, we're here. As you can... Excuse you. As you can tell, the level has reset since we last came here, with everything apart from gems available to recollect and redo and stuff, including the talisman, which we already have. So.
Hello, young one. There's a chef up at the top of this ladder who wants to make soup out of our turtles. Maybe you could climb up there and stop him.
Maybe we could. And maybe it's not entirely fair. Hang on, the chef has lines as well. Hold on.
Your turtle friends happen to make a very good soup, if I can catch them. You can try to say them if you like, but I'm feeling awfully hungry.
Give me the fulminated mercury. Which is a sideways reference if ever I heard one. Bong. Okay, so we have turtles who just sort of run towards the soup as they do. And I'm just going to miss it completely, apparently. This isn't that difficult. I just missed the turtle. The idea is to get them into that porridge pot. Not the pot, but the porridge pot of water in the distance. If even one gets into the pot, you die. Well, you fail. That's... failure, death, same thing. Bonk. It's sort of bad news bears if they come back to not spinning aroundness right next to the pot, because then you're sort of kind of dead.
So, you saved a few turtles. There are more where those came from. Here, take this orb and go away.
Trying to bribe me. Honestly, who do you think you are, you woof? With your flippers. So, yes, there are 2 orbs for doing this, and I'm still not over the fact that I'm assuming you had to talk to the professor twice in order to get the, excuse you. I was going to say, are the turtles not spawning? Turtle spawn? Is that a reference of some kind? A pun? A joke? Do turtles spawn, or do they just egg? Really? Came back to not dead unlife there. But yes, perhaps it's not entirely fair of me to say that, oh, apparently they donk. Like, they could pass momentum between them. Luckily, they do stop for a moment before they jump into the pot. Like, they don't just sort of charge into the pot and dive into it head first. Like, they do stop for a moment, contemplate, and then jump in. Also, you can sort of see in the background, they get vacuumed up by that pipe. That's why they don't keep climbing out and returning to the pot. No. You're not going to be soup today, my friend. Oh, is it him dingling the thing that makes them unshoop themselves? Like, do they all start walking when he dingles the thing? Evidently not.
Rats! You saved every turtle on the beach. Here, take this. I was going to use it to buy potatoes, but now I don't need it.
Potatoes. Potatoes flying into my soup. Potatoes flying away from your soup, sir. But yeah, my mind is still blown by the whole orb display thing. Anyway, the final 10 gems level are down here. A neat little row of 5 2 gems. Yes, there were 5. Good. Just worried for a second there. But yeah, I mean, there were partner levels in this homeworld, because, you know, we've had Sunny Beach and Aquaria Towers, which are technically partner levels, and, you know, Idle Springs and Colossus. And then also, I believe there's at least 1 pair of levels. There are 2, I tell a lie. There are 2 pairs of levels that are partners in Winter Tundra as well, so... maybe I was a bit... Maybe it's a harsh judgment on my part, but it makes too much sense. Anyway, I will meet you at the next thing that we need to do. I will see you there. Okay, here we are, in Glimmer, at the second Superfly power-up charge gate thing, and here are the last gems. At least I assume they're the last gems. I may have missed one in my initial run, and wouldn't that be embarrassing? Except, nope, we've got a nice round number of gems, because we've only spent them in multiples of 100, and we've only been collecting them in multiples of 100, and now we are 100% at every level we've done so far. Oh my goodness, except obviously we're not 100% here because we haven't got the orb yet, but other than that, we're 100% so far. So, explain yourself, sir.
Hey! Great! You've got the Superfly power-up active. Now you can light the gem lamps in this cave.
Technically speaking, if you're really quick and really precise, you can actually get the Superfly power-up from outside and fly up to that ledge without needing the ladder climbing ability. But, I mean, you can do all the lamps in 1 lap of this room if you're, you know, quick and efficient, so you don't need to get up there once. Maybe you'd have to remember to fly back and recharge if you're not good at it, but you only need 1 lap, so just fly in here, get up to that ledge, and then get Superfly power-up.
Thanks for helping me light the lamp, Spyro. For a while, I was afraid we were going to have to cancel tonight's baseball game. Here, somebody mix this orb in with the baseballs.
Because baseball, for some reason. So there we are. Now we're 100% at everything so far. Satisfying, because it is kind of a dick move to make you spawn in the first level and make the first level impossible to complete on your first visit unless you're really crafty. So yeah, you can Superfly in here from outside if you're really careful and get up to that ledge, and then obviously from that ledge restock your Superfly power up and then do 1 lap of the room and you'll be fine, because you should be able to do that in 1 lap of the room. I think I made that clear enough. So, also, it didn't show us the outro of the level because we didn't collect the talisman, or the repeat talisman in this case. Also, absolutely, definitely don't forget to kill a bunch of enemies when you're going for that orb, because obviously you need spirit particles to make the power-up gate work. Now, one last thing that I will mention before ending the episode is there are 2 homeworld warps in every homeworld. There's one towards the beginning and one towards the end, and yes, they correspond. So there's this one that links us to the start of Autumn Plains, and vice versa, and there's the one that we saw that was near the boss door, which, of course, if you go through that, it will take you to the outside of the boss door in Summer Forest. So they are connected like that. It does make sense. It's lovely. But that's entirely enough exposition on my part. For now, I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons. It feels so satisfying to be all up to date on levels now. The only question is, where do I begin next time? Because there are so many levels here to choose from, oh my goodness. So, I'll see you in the next episode for that.